What's up, guys? It's Dusky. Today we are talking about everything that I've learned about good looking thumbnails. Today we are talking about thumbnails, not like these kind of thumbnails, even though I did give it a nice little trim earlier. I need to give my hair a trim. Speaking of trims, it is getting crazy. Look at this nonsense, man. It's insane. We're talking about YouTube thumbnails. Whether you're a business person starting a brand new business or you're a YouTuber starting a gaming channel, you have to know how to make a good thumbnail to bring attention to your channel. You have to think of thumbnails as book covers. The only difference is that on YouTube, you're judging the book by its cover. If you're just starting to make YouTube videos, the best way to get people to click on your videos, other than SEO, is by making attractive, good-looking thumbnails. Here are 5 easy tips and tricks that I have learned over my time as a content creator to create captivating YouTube thumbnails. Let's say you've optimized your search perfectly, it's showing up in a lot of great searches, and your YouTube thumbnails look like this. This is a channel, a fishing channel that I made a while back. As you can tell, the thumbnails are not the best. This was kind of before. This is in my learning phase. These are very interesting to go back and watch and look at, but the thumbnail artwork is not fantastic. I basically just took pictures from the video, and don't do that. That's a terrible idea. Anyways, let's get back to these 5 tips and tricks to make your YouTube thumbnails look better. Tip number 1. Ooh. Easy there, camera. Easy. Tip number one. Put a face on it. Put a face on your thumbnail. This is extremely important because I've said this 1,000 times in my previous videos. People love seeing people. This is true in just about everything. People like seeing other people in videos, in thumbnails, in web pages, just about everything. Put your face on your YouTube thumbnails. Get a phone or something like that, hold it up, take a selfie. That's what I do. A great way to do it is to find like a window and sit in front of that window, because windows give absolutely fantastic light, and take a picture of yourself. Take a selfie with your smartphone. Smartphones take fantastic pictures. I would use this camera instead of this camera, just a pro tip for you there. A thumbnail with your face on it is more likely to get clicked than one without your face on it, because again, people like seeing people. If you go and look at some of your favorite YouTubers, they probably have their face making some goofy expression or something like that on their thumbnails. Am I saying to go that extreme, the really goofy stuff? No, not necessarily, but get a close-up of your face, just smiling or pointing at something or thumbs up or something along those lines. If you don't want to take a selfie or anything like that, you could pose for the first 5 seconds of your video and then that could be your thumbnail. And then once you take that to Photoshop or GIMP or whatever free editing software that you may have, be sure to cut yourself out of that, and you can put it onto any background that you can imagine, that you can come up with. I always personally take those selfies just because I think I think they come out a little bit better, because my smartphone can take a lot better pictures than my $25 Logitech camera. One really good example of a YouTube channel that has that facial recognition that you'll see, they have in almost every single one of his videos. This is Harris Heller. If you don't know who this guy is and you're a content creator, you need to follow him. As you can see, his face is in every single one of these pictures. Like I said, people like seeing people. See, even in this one, he uses the exact same picture. Perfectly fine. Reuse pictures. I reuse pictures of mine. Perfectly fine. These are gorgeous thumbnails here. All of them have this face in it. Tip number 2. 2, not 4. 2. Text is extremely important. There are 3 very important things that you need to know about the text in your thumbnails. The first is to make sure that it's relevant to the video. If I want to make a video about cats, I'm not going to post a turtle as a thumbnail. That doesn't make sense. If I want to see a video about turtles, I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to see it's about cats, and I'm never going to click on another one of this person's videos again because they lied. With that said, number 2, your thumbnail text doesn't have to be the exact same as your YouTube title. Your video title is more centered around search engine optimization, telling your viewer what it's about, telling YouTube what your video is about. Your thumbnail title, the text that's on your thumbnail, that's basically helping people click on your video, persuading them to click on that video. Try to make it short and catchy. You don't want an entire paragraph on there. Nobody's going to click on that. You want it to be short, you want it to be catchy, you want it to be popping and just visually make you happy. Nobody wants to sit there and read it through a thumbnail. They're skimming through these looking for a video they want to watch, and they see yours, they say, oh, this one looks fun to watch because it's short and catchy. Tip number 3, everything on the thumbnail needs to be big. You need to make it big. So if I'm looking at a thumbnail and I see some small text that I can't even read, I'm not going to look at it because, again, I'm browsing through these thumbnails. I'm not looking at each one. I'm looking at them as I'm scrolling up and down the page. So I'm not going to take the time to read size 8 Times New Roman when I can see right below that there's 3 words that are much bigger and I can see them very easily. So that includes text, that includes pictures, that includes clip art, anything like that. If you want to see your face needs to be bigger, they need to be able to see it very easily when they're scrolling through. One person that does this very, very well is Clash Bashing. Somebody is a Clash of Clans content creator. As you can tell, they have a massive amount of following here. Look at the size of some of these texts and everything like that on these videos. You can see the lettering's huge, the pictures are huge. These are very eye-popping. This shield here is massive. That's the first thing that you're gonna see. This is huge. Anytime that you see anything on these, it's a massive, massive picture, massive clip art. These are fantastic thumbnails because they're very eye-popping. They'll catch your eye very easily because of the size of the things in the actual thumbnail. Tip number 4. This is a very, very important tip. Be consistent with your thumbnails. You don't want to repeat it. You don't want the same thumbnail back to back to back to back to back. You want consistency in your thumbnail. If you have a brand, use your brand elements on the actual thumbnail itself. If you don't have a brand yet, that's perfectly fine. Choose a font that is legible and one that really pops out in your video. Don't use Times New Roman or something basic like that. Nah. Try to stick with around 3 consistent colors. That's very beneficial to your thumbnail and it provides a lot of consistency. What this is doing is it's building almost a brand and it's almost branding your videos. You're also building recognition. If your audience keeps seeing the same fonts and colors, then they're going to start to recognize you for it. You do not want to be a forgettable person on YouTube. That is for sure. One of the best examples of consistency on a YouTube channel is this guy. This is Echo Gaming. He is a good buddy of mine. He does a fantastic job of consistency. As you can see, he has the white text with the yellow underneath, the black in there as well. For every single video, that is consistency. If I see a video like this, I automatically know it is Echo Gaming's video. Even for videos that don't have the exact same game as other videos, it's still the exact same theme, so I know who it is that is doing this video. Tip number 5. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. You're not stupid. It's just a good acronym that I remember things with in like real life and stuff. When you're making a thumbnail, don't overdo it. Don't overthink it. I've sat there personally before and just mulled over thumbnails for hours. Like I think I've sat there before with 2 hours and just had a background on there. Like you don't need to think that hard. You don't need to spend hours and hours on your thumbnails, but you do need to give a lot of effort to them because they are very, very important. You shouldn't waste all of your time on the thumbnail. If you're struggling coming up with an idea, just think to yourself in a very, very basic way, what is this video about? Or what do I want my audience to understand from this video? The number one thing that you should focus on is your video content. If your video sucks, but your thumbnail is beautiful, doesn't make a difference. If your video sucks, you're not gonna get views. That's what it is. The thumbnail will help people click on your videos, but it's not gonna make your channel grow without good content behind it. And you can always go back and change your thumbnail of past videos if you came up with a really bad one. I actually did that recently. I came up with a video or a thumbnail that was awful. Went back, changed it. Actually ended up getting a couple extra views. So they do work. They are very effective tools. It's a whole lot easier to change your thumbnail than it is to change your video. If you weren't paying attention, here's those 5 listed out. Put your face on the thumbnail, add text to the thumbnail, make everything big, brand it with consistency, and keep it simple. As always, I appreciate y'all coming and watching the video. If you like this video, drop a thumbs up for me. I would definitely appreciate it. If you haven't already, do subscribe for more content like this. I'm gonna go ahead and post my Twitter, my Twitch, my Discord, everything like that down in the description below. So be sure to check that out. We have a great community in Discord, as well as I post a ton on Twitter and stream some on Twitch as well. But as always, guys, have a fantastic week. Have a fantastic day. Thank y'all so much again. Peace.